Hi everybody, it's Gemma. Welcome back to Pampered Wolf and welcome to the second instalment in the Best Of series, which is going to run all the way through Christmas and New Year. One after the other after the other. Now is the turn for my favourite concealers, starting with my ultimate favourite concealer. And then if that ultimate favourite isn't affordable or cruelty free, I'm also going to give you my favourites in those categories as well. So let's get straight to it. If you are new here, hi, my name's Gemma. I upload 2 to 3 videos here on YouTube every single week. I'm also on Instagram if you fancy checking me out over there. It's at Pampered Wolf, all lowercase and no spaces. I would seriously appreciate it if you would come and join the Pampered Wolf pack by clicking on that subscribe button and the notification bell. And also, if you like what you've seen, if you've enjoyed what you've watched at the end of this video, if you wouldn't mind clicking that like button, it really does help. So before we jump into my ultimate favourite concealer, just a little bit of a tip for you regarding concealer shades. I get asked this all the time, so I thought I would answer it within this video. A lot of people think that you should automatically go for a concealer shade for underneath the eyes that's 1 to 2 shades lighter than your natural skin tone. Because if you do that, it highlights the under eye, it brightens the under eye, and it can be a very youthful look. But it can also be quite aging if you get it wrong. If you go too light, it can make your under eye circles, if you have them, and if you don't, lucky you, I really don't like you very much. It can also make your under eye circles look a little bit grey rather than covering them over, which is what you want to do with a concealer. And it can also highlight areas that you don't really want to be drawing attention to. So sometimes going for a concealer shade that's exactly the same shade as your foundation can actually look more flattering and more youthful. It just depends on what effect you actually want to have. So just for example, today I've got a concealer shade on that's the same shade as my foundation. Rather than trying to brighten this area, it's just a really natural, flattering look rather than drawing attention to this area of the face, which sometimes I just don't want to do. So it's all about personal preference, really. It's all about what you want. But I would definitely try out both and see which one you think looks more flattering on your skin. So there is no law out there that says that the concealer underneath your eyes needs to be 1 to 2 shades lighter than your foundation shade. There just isn't. Try it both ways and see which you prefer. So let's get down to my ultimate favourite concealer. I don't think this is going to shock anybody. Nobody's going to fall off their chairs when I announce my ultimate favourite. This is the concealer that I've been using continuously for around about a month. Never had an issue with. It is just the perfect concealer. And I also did a little bit of a video on my under eye concealer routine. If you haven't seen that already, I will link that up here for you, but it's absolutely phenomenal. Never creases, never have to touch it up throughout the day. It's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. So this is the Pat McGrath concealer. I have 2 of these because I have one that is 1 to 2 shades paler than my natural skin colour, and I also have one that is the same shade as my foundation, so I can take my pick on a daily basis to see which one I prefer. So the lighter one is the shade L2, and the one that is the same shade as my foundation is L4. So these are the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealers and Correction in one. These are slightly peachy in tone, so they will cover your under eye circles as well, although there's nothing stopping you from actually using a colour corrector as well. I've used colour correctors underneath these and had no issues whatsoever. Even though I'm using an extra product underneath these, they still don't crease. Honestly, you have to use so little of this, so also this is going to last me a really, really long time, which is a good job because they are quite pricey. So they look gorgeous, they dry down well, they're easy to blend, very flattering underneath the eye, and I just love them. So although the Pat McGrath brand does say that they don't test on animals, they still haven't provided enough evidence to the governing bodies for the governing bodies to say that Pat McGrath brand is in fact cruelty free. So take from that what you will. They say they're cruelty-free, but at the moment, they just don't have that stamped seal of approval. So if I'm wanting less coverage in the daytime, and sometimes if I'm not wearing foundation at all, this is the concealer that I will pick up. I actually wore this to the hairdressers yesterday. What do you think? Do you like it? Gone a little bit darker, been a bit daring. It's still not that much of a change, is it? Did anybody notice? Maybe not. If I am going out with no foundation on whatsoever, like I did yesterday, this is the concealer that I would wear. This is the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Concealer, and it is beautiful. It's really nice, blends into the skin beautifully, gives coverage, but it doesn't look like you've got concealer underneath your eyes, which I really, really like. When a concealer blends into natural skin without foundation on it, that is a serious good quality from a concealer, because most concealers blend out beautifully when you've got foundation on, but when you've got bare skin, it's a little bit more difficult, and you can often see where the makeup ends and the natural skin begins. I don't feel like that is the case with this. It's just stunning, really beautiful. And if you want to have even lighter coverage, you can mix this with your moisturizer and it just looks beautiful. Really, really beautiful. So Bare Minerals is cruelty-free, but obviously it's not affordable. So let me share with you my affordable favorites. So if I'm wanting cruelty-free and I'm wanting full coverage, this is the concealer that I always go for. It is unbelievable. This is the Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite. It dries down to, I would say, a radiant matte finish. It dries down quite quickly, but you have plenty of time to blend before it's stuck in place. I don't feel like I need to set this in place. A lot of people say that they do, but I've got a feeling that's because they either have quite oily under eyes or they're applying too much. You don't need to apply very much of this. A little goes a very, very long way. I love it. It's absolutely amazing. This one is in the shade C3, which is slightly pinky in tone, which also helps to cover up my under eye dark circles without using a colour corrector underneath. Absolutely love it, cruelty-free and affordable. If I'm wanting cruelty-free, if I'm wanting less coverage, if I want a concealer that blends beautifully into natural skin, this is the one that I go for. This is the number 7 Lift and Illuminate. It's gorgeous. It's got added skincare in there. It really hydrates the under eye. It moisturizes the under eye. It definitely doesn't dry the under eye out at all, which if you have really dry under eyes to begin with, this is definitely one that I would recommend that you go out and try. Absolutely beautiful product and just blends seamlessly into natural skin. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, 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 cruelty-free, easy to blend. What's not to like? I would wear this far more often if it was in my correct shade. They go quite fair in the number 7 range. So if you have really fair skin, this may be a really good one for you. This one is in the shade Fair. I should have gone for one shade up from this because this just makes me look a little bit ashy underneath my eyes, which is why I don't reach for it on a daily basis. But if I got this in my correct shade, then I would definitely reach for this more often. So that's it. They're my ultimate favourite concealers for underneath the eye and also for covering over any blemishes or any discoloration on the skin. They can do it all. I love all 4 of those. Like I said, I reach for the Pat McGrath the most often, and it's the one that I have on today, but all the others are absolutely fantastic as well, and I highly recommend them all. If you enjoyed watching this video, if you found it helpful in any way, I'd really appreciate it if you would give this a like, hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.